Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. As you can see, we're in the Tan & Go studio today. You don't want a bold end when you've got this many lights, believe me. Right, what was I going to say? Today is a red letter day for Gav, or should I say a green letter day. My wife surprised me with a gift, yet another model kit. Hang on. I'm saying all this as if you don't know what I'm talking about because you would have read the title, I presume. Anyway, yeah, Mrs. B as let's start. I'm already drifting, aren't I? So let's go back to the start. I watch a lot of motorcycle racing, or I watch a lot of it, but I also have it just playing it on in the background as I'm painting. Yeah, I know, it's sad. And I occasionally look up, like, you know, and I don't know why, because I know half the races off by heart. I know who's won them and who's fallen off and all the rest of it. I just love motorcycle racing. I'm one of these guys. I've never owned a motorcycle apart from a little 50cc right when I was, you know, really a kid, just to get me about town. But I've never. That wasn't a motorcycle, let's face it. I've always wanted my own sports bike. I think they're the most beautiful things that, you know, a bloke or a robot in a factory can put together. I love sports bikes. You know, I've followed sports bikes from the 1980s or like mid 80s up to now. No expert on them, and as I say, I don't ride them. I've always, and it came about. Me and my wife were just rambling away over some tea. That's dinner. Where I come from in the country, we call it tea. And was chomping away, and we were just talking about, you know, things in general. And I said, you know, they always have these bucket lists, or they have, you know, regrets, you know, things you haven't done and you wish you had done. And you know, we were just having a laugh and that. I said, but the one thing that I've always wanted, and she knows this anyway, is I always wanted my own sports bike. You know, she's always said I'd be like driving Miss Daisy because I'm the slowest car driver in the world. I'd have to have stabilisers on my sports bike or go around with my feet on the ground and not go above 10 miles an hour. I don't care. I've got this lovely sexy sports bike I'm sitting on, and you know, and in my head I'm doing 200 miles an hour. It doesn't matter that you've got a milk float and one of these disabled scooter things behind me trying to get past. And it's never going to happen at my age now. Obviously all my head problems and my body's just worn out with all the years of doing my arboricultural business. Yeah, so I'm never going to have one, am I? The next best thing I can do is build them. And she, you know, said, oh, you know, well, why didn't you get, I said, because you keep telling me I've got far too many kits now. I said, and now you're telling me to get another one? And I've wanted to do one, but bikes, cars, aeroplanes, when you're doing armour, it's different. So I'm thinking, well, as I'm building them, you can just about get away. You've still got to make them look right. You know, you don't want to be just really rough with them, but you know, you can be, you know, hide things more, I suppose. I have dodgy paintwork where it's either rough or it's yeah, just rough really. What can I say? You know, I'm having real trouble with filling seam lines without either them having deep crevasses in or a hump, you know, or getting rid of that hump. I end up getting rid of half of the model at the same time. And I know that people say, oh, you need to do this. Yeah, I understand that. It's just applicating. It's like painting. I can tell somebody how to paint a figure, but they've got to really just get in the trenches and get it done and keep doing it until they get it. And it's the same with me with the bike. I know what I need to do. I just, you know, it's just taking time for it to fall into place. So I've thought to myself, I am going to do a bike this year, or a couple of bikes this year, but it's going to be towards the end of the year. You know, I've got to try and get the basics done because it will really show up on this type of thing. I do understand that at least I might be able to get away with, because I can cut it out with the polishing and that, and you know, so there might be a chance that I can improve my paint. But the decal silvering, the trenches and whatever on the filling. So yeah, I was going to put it off, but she decided to. It's like being on a diving board and somebody tell you to coming up behind you and pushing you off. So she, hey Gav, here you go. Here's a kit. So this came through. I'm waffling a lot, I know. I'm really excited. This came through the post. This is Shinya Nakano's, or Randy de Punya's if it's number 17. Kawasaki ZXRR. This is the race bike, obviously. So there's no fancy stuff on, and it'd be a lot more expensive to buy than a street bike. But it is Kawasaki's. It was Kawasaki's entrance into Grand Prix. For different reasons, it didn't take huge honours. You know, I could go into that on another subject, but this isn't really what this channel isn't about, bike racing. I've got Shinya Nakano's autograph somewhere, which I'll have to dig out, and I plan to put that in with the standing next to this very bike, and I plan to put that in a little display cabinet with the bike if I can do the bike well. Now the problem with these bikes are, not the problem, is you can go hard. I suppose it's like doing anything, it's how much kit you want to throw at it aftermarket wise, but you can really throw a lot of these and it gets really expensive really quickly. I thought I'd probably be using spot paints on them. They do the colour matched Kawasaki green and stuff, so I'll spot paints I think are from that Hyro Boy models, so I shall be getting some spot paint for them. It's pre-mixed, so even surely Gav can't go wrong with that, apart from applying it. It's showing obviously the carbon fibre, and the bike has carbon fibre on certain places now, like the disc guards, all the brake guards, all that type of stuff. I don't know if that's in the kit. I've had a quickly brief look without opening any bags, and I might invest in some carbon. They do like a sheet, but then again, am I good enough to really make my own masks and you know, templates I should say, and put that on? We'll see. If it doesn't have carbon fibre in, I might well buy it, because there's no point painting this black, because it wasn't black, it was carbon fibre, so that's going to be a learning curve. But yeah, it's a 1 in 12 scale kit. I will do an overview in a minute. You can get metal forks for these. A lot of the guys seem to buy them. Again, you know, this kit I believe was around £30, I believe. So you know, you start adding on extras. You can get metal chains for them. You can get metal disc brakes. It depends how much you want to throw. Half of me says, do I throw a lot of money at this? And I haven't got it at the moment anyway. Do I throw a lot of money as I just start a bike, or do I just build it out of the box and learn? Which may be the way I go. We shall see. But this won't be built until I've done the FT17. That is progressing, by the way. It's just that because it's an interior build, there's lots of stop start. You know, paint a bit, stick a bit, paint a bit, stick a bit. And although it's a tiny little tank compared to modern day tanks, I haven't got enough that I feel that I want to show you. You know, it's worth a video type of thing. I've got lots of little bits, and they're all about to be stuck down in the next, say, 48 hours. So you will see the FT17 in the coming couple of days, and then I've got to probably have a go at this. It actually says on here cartograph decals. Oh, great, because the Tamiya decals are supposed to be quite heavy to put down. So yeah, join me at the bench, guys. I'm waffling. I'm just really made up. Gav's got his sports bike. It's in 1/12 scale, but hey, can't have everything. So yeah, brilliant. So if you do fancy having a look what's in the bike kit, join me down at the desk. I'll see you in a minute, guys. Alright guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Let's have a look. I don't know, as usual, how much you're actually going to get in shot. I'm not the best at this type of thing, but that's our bike anyway. Beautiful. And as we can see, some very, very shiny green plastic. So that's what you get in the box anyway. Let's put that down to one side, and we'll hopefully my pop isn't around to go and steal a sprue. That would be heartbreaking in the extreme. Sorry, this is how prepared I am. I just wanted, as soon as it came through with the courier, I had to show you guys what we've got. Some extremely shiny green plastic. Now this absolutely terrifies me because, let's just see if we can get in. We've got a split tank here. Obviously the two halves, like putting an aircraft fuselage together. It's this and this. And I am absolutely decking it. This is not good. Gavin seam lines, oh my life. But we've got to give it a go. Something I'm also thinking of doing, these fairings here, you can see the screws, and from what I've seen online, and obviously for the scale of the bike, they are quite large. And a lot of guys use these tiny magnets, so I might go down that route as well. As I say, I've got at least 6 weeks to 2 months probably before this bike gets started. Might be less, but it just depends how long the tank is going for. Because don't forget, I've got on that one, I've got to do some figures and stuff for it, so, and a small diorama, so that will probably take a bit longer. But there's our base of our seat. Looking at it, as you'd expect from Tamiya, absolutely cracking moulding. I mean, this bike was around 2005 when it raced, so I'd imagine the kit is from that era. Have we got a date on here? 2007 this sprue. So let's put that back. I don't want to do any scratches on this. I suppose they've done it colour coded like this so that you can actually just stick the bike together if you so wish. Looks like we've got our engine parts here. Be careful with these staples with my pop's feet. Pause. Right, I'm not going to get the clear parts out. You can get vac form. Where are we? You can get vac form clear parts. Again, you're easily turning a 30 kit into like a 140-50 pound kit. I'm not sure what these little guys are yet. Well, I'm sure. Oh, might actually be light units, Gav. You never know. So yeah, I'll be sticking with the cover. It's the windscreen itself. Radiator. Looks to be a very slight bit of stress in there. I suppose that is. I don't know, but as it's all going to be painted, it's not going to make much difference. Got our frame. I'm trying to. I've got so many lights on here. It's bouncing off everything, but yeah, we've got seam lines down the frame. I was expecting that, so it's nothing untoward. We've got forks. I might get some metal forks. Not that I'm saying that these, you know, who am I to say what's good and what's not on a bike I've never made before, but I might get some metal forks for it. We've got our engine, Kawasaki obviously, nicely shown up there. Again, these small parts might be a small seam line, mould line I should say, running down. Very small parts, you'd expect that, it's plastic, it's got to have something. We've got nice big pegs to put to obviously put the things together, pieces together. Oh, I can't speak today as usual. Overcome with emotion, that's what I am. No, very nice. Doesn't seem to be particularly any mould release. Again, you can even get all the different race cans, you know, exhausts in other words, but I'll be using those, I think. As I say, I don't have the money to throw, you know, £100 plus at a kit, but I might, if I've got the, you know, the time to actually, you know, I've got a couple of months, I might be able to save up and buy some bits and pieces here and there. What I wouldn't want to do is actually spend a lot of money on spare bits and pieces and then find out I've done such a rotten job on the painting and There's our wheels. Again, they look very nice. Even the Brembo brake calipers that they've got Brembo on them. Really nice. Frame again. We've got some weld seams as well, that's nice to see. Let me see. We've got our seat by the look of it, which, let's face it, it's a race bike that's not going to be built for comfort. If you have a look at the chain, where are we, Gav? Come on, there we go. That's our chain. It's purposely broke in the middle there to fit it. People, as I say, buy metal chains for these. I saw Plasmo drill out all the little links. I don't know. Knowing my luck, I'll probably break them all. We'll see. We'll see when it comes to it. The discs here, again, I've seen. There we are. They would normally, obviously, have holes in them. So I would probably. I've got some tiny drill bits. They keep snapping, but I've still got them. So I might have a go at actually drilling out any holes that need to be drilled out. I'll drill those out. That's something I can do. So yeah, let's have that back that away a second. That's our black sprue, and all I've got left to show you is the fairing. Front fairing, and the tyres. I won't get this out of the bag, let's not scratch anything. So obviously there's no light in there. I've just got the air for the ram. There's no it's hard to tell obviously if this with the plastic if there was scratches on there or not, but I doubt. This is Tamiya, I doubt there would be. I'm not going to open this up because let's just have a look at, you probably, can you? No, you can't see, I can. There's the usual centre seam line, which you can't see through there. Through the rubber tyres, big chunky rubber tyres obviously, rear and front. Front one being a bit thinner obviously. This pipe in here is to go around obviously the different parts of the bike. I will probably get some aftermarket braided hoses for that. Get your little screwdriver because it's all held together by screws. Now I've seen a guy online and I cannot remember his name now. Dalrun Models, I believe it is. A guy called Dallas. He was putting some tubing through his rather than these, because these screws wouldn't be here in real life. And they are, so I'm pointing, you can't see, but so I'll have a look at that. It might be a bridge too far with my for me on a first build, but we'll see. And then you got some teeny tiny little fellas in a separate bag down there. As I say, I'm not going to get these out because there'll be bits everywhere, and a metal spring for the back, and some little plastic poly caps. So I'm just looking down here for the. Obviously, I'm going to go through it all because it's all a big open out one. And we don't have the space, but obviously you've seen the Tamiya instructions before. Some of these guys build them on jigs, but the jigs are quite expensive, and there is no way I can indulge in something like that at the moment. If I build 3 or 4 bikes, then I might get myself a jig. But at the moment, with my first bike, or first couple of bikes, if I can go that far. So there's that. And you'll want to see the decals as well, which of course are right at the bottom. With me. Again, they're all, I'm not going to get them out the bag, let's keep them protected, but they are obviously as per the front of the bike. 56 is Shinya Nakano's and 17 is Randy de Punya's. I'm quite sure, as I'm quite fascinated in bikes, I'll be doing Shinya's, but at some stage I'll be doing Randy's version as well. This is upside down, but I'd imagine it's the mirrors. No, how can it be mirrors? It's not got any mirrors. Oh, I don't know. Whatever it is, but it might well be. So yeah, I can't tell if that's carbon or not. I think it's just black, but we'll see. Yeah, so upgrades for this, and let me just put the box so we've got something to look at while I finish off. For the way I see it at the moment, it's my first bike. Do I really want to throw a lot of money at it? I might get some metal forks. If the carbon fibre isn't, if the decal doesn't look like carbon fibre, it might well do. I can't see through there, but if it isn't, I might get a sheet of carbon fibre, because it is quite apparent on the bike. I will get some braided hoses because they're not too expensive. About the only add-ons that aren't. I doubt I'll get a chain for this and the brake discs, because you can get clutches, brake discs, you know, and each time you're looking about £30 a pop, I think. And it's, if you could get a full issue at one, you know, for 30 quid, say, then I'd dive in and get it. But I've got a feeling you could easily spend 100 plus just buying extra bits for this. And if you get to be an expert builder of these bikes, then I'm quite sure every penny's worth it. But as a newbie to it all, it's probably be wasted on me. So I want to thank Mrs. B for getting me my sports bike, and hopefully, guys, you'll enjoy the build as it goes. Again, I'm not going to try and build it on camera. I'm not good enough for that type of stuff. But I'll put up some vlogs as I go when I get it started. As I say, I've got my my French FT17 World War I tank I'm building at the moment, and that'll have its first outing in a few days. And I say this will be started when there's nothing else to do on that project. I don't particularly. The only thing I might start earlier on it is, as I'm drawing down on that project, is maybe getting all the parts off and giving them a good clean up. You know, ready for priming, things like that. But that'd be about it. So, guys, thank you very much for stopping by and looking at this fantastic 1 in 12 scale Kawasaki Ninja ZX RR, and it replicates a bike ridden by Shinya Nakano and Randy de Punya. So, guys, take care of yourselves. I do appreciate you stopping by and taking a look, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.